something we're really, really proud about here at Peerlyst. Joe Gray and Brian Austin had the idea to found a InfoSec mentorship program. A InfoSec mentorship program that is not only a mentor and mentee helping each other, which is already fantastic, and we have another initiative out there called the,
I'll get to that.
Sorry?
It's the InfoSec Mentors project with Keith Lippert and Jimmy Ho.
Exactly, that's Keith and Jimmy, which is fantastic. So Brian Austin and Joe had the idea of doing something more practical. So I give to you Joe Gray, social engineer extraordinaire, founder with Brian of Through the Hacking Class, winner of the Rubicon Social Engineering CTF, and a forensics enthusiast on the side. And Joe will now tell you what he has come up with about Through the Hacking Class, what it's all about. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks for having me. All right, so this is going to be a shorter presentation than the others. It's just not, it's not something that I want to beat you in the head for an hour for. I'd rather just give you the highlights of the program, how it works, what we envision, how we see things happening, and then move forward with that so that we can just get involved. So with this, and I got to adjust my clicker again. One moment. My clicker's not used to getting work this hard anymore. Or the battery. Oh. It also helps if I have it turned on. Anyway, so just like with the other presentations, the thoughts and opinions with this are not those of IBM. I'm a senior security architect at IBM, 2017 Rubicon SECTF winner. I got some certifications. I write blogs. I contribute to Peerlyst. I'm the co-founder Through the Hacking Glass. I got my own blog and podcast, Advanced Persistent Security, and I do jiu-jitsu. So that being said, here's the mission statement that we put together. We want to have a free and low-cost training resource. We're trying to be something between certification and academia. Both of those, they do what they do very well, but they don't do all of it. And collectively, they don't do enough. So what we are trying to do is basically be the gap between the tiles of the two, to give you practical, real-world experience that's going to help enable you to get meaningful employment, as well as get new skills, or basically whatever you want to learn. There'll be some CTF stuff involved. Some of it's CTF themed or based, but it's not just a CTF club. I found that really just doesn't work. So with it, we're basically going to help with things. Here's the contact information for everything, but I'll have it again at the end. So basically, Brian didn't provide background. So he's a cyber analyst with, oh, wrong way. I don't remember who he works for now. GuidePoint Security. Sorry. He does threat intelligence there. He's in North Carolina. I'm in Tennessee. And he's very enthusiastic about security as well. So basically, this is about Peerlyst. I'll give you a hint. If you go to Peerlyst's website and go to the about section, this is copy and pasted straight from that. So no need to read that. And I mean, we're the headquarters, so kind of really don't need to go in that. So why are we doing this? Well, basically, if you think back to Hacker Summer Camp last year, was anyone following the InfoSec news people on Twitter? Hey, I always say when I hear it on below. Basically, we're doing it because a group of people claimed to be building something similar. They were out as frauds. They were soliciting money from people to get them to conferences to network and meet the right people. They were getting to the conferences and partying like it's 1999. And they were out as frauds. I wasn't directly involved with it, but I had talked to the people before. I was like, I'm very supportive of what you're doing. Anyway, I can help, let me know. I retweeted them, but that was it. So instead of going off using my OSINT skills, doxing the people and like completely obliterating them from the face of the earth, I decided I was going to do this and do this the right way. So from the get-go, before we even partnered with Peerlyst with this, we decided that no money was going to change hands whatsoever. So that way, if there's no money changing hands, there's no way for it to be a fraud, right? So that was that piece. But Brian and I, we both had a life of mentorship. And in this, basically what I mean by that is, when I was in the Navy on a submarine, you're continuously mentoring someone and someone else is continuously mentoring you. From the captain down to the newest person that's been on the boat for minutes. That person has a mentor, the person who's mentoring him has a mentor, so forth and so on. And the thing is, you learn a lot that way, and you cross-train, and you challenge yourself, and you pick up skills you wouldn't otherwise have. And you learn just as much from mentoring as you do from being mentored. At any given time, I have between 3 and 8 mentees. And that predates through the hacking class as well. But the thing about it is, I've learned that mentees ask questions that, quite frankly, those of us in the industry sometimes are too afraid to ask. Or we're so caged by the thought that we know how this works that we just don't ask the question. We're very locked into an echo chamber in terms of how we think and what we want to know about. So we typically don't try to rock that boat. But you have someone that's new that doesn't know the etiquette, if you will. They're going to come in and ask the question. They're going to challenge you. You're going to learn something from it. It's just the nature of the beast. And it's great. Even after I got out of the Navy, there were 2 people at my first job out of the Navy. They would come by my desk on their way to meetings. They'd be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm doing this. That doesn't matter. Lock your computer. Come on, we're going to this meeting. I'd go to the meeting. I would learn from, soft skills, hard skills, about technologies, all that. I even learned how to shatter a phone receiver because I was in a meeting with one of them and this guy was just being completely obtuse to the point he was just poking the guy who broke the phone. And he finally just jumped in. He's like, I've got to go. And he just whack on the desk and shattered it in half. I was pretty impressed. But hey, something you learn. In this day and age, I don't use them. So, take my phone and it'll shatter. It's all good. It's an iPhone. Or I can just send it for a spin. But anyway, that's what it boils down to. And within industry, we don't have enough of this. So because of that, that is my inspiration of previous mentors. Ever since then, whenever I'm in a position, if I'm doing something that someone can learn from, I'll yank up and be like, hey, what are you doing? Okay, come on, let's go learn this, or whatever. And then we learn it, we talk about it, and go back and, let me know. When I have mentees and they ask me questions, sometimes I respond with questions. I think it was Ms. that said on Twitter, if you have a mentor, you're fortunate. If you have a mentor that answers your questions, you're more fortunate. If you have one that answers your question with a question, you're blessed. It makes you think. I don't spoon feed things. And that's not what we're trying to go through the hacking class to be. So if you get stuck and ask a mentor a question, if it's appropriate for all the options have been exhausted, yeah, they can answer it. But it's going to be more along the lines of, okay, you need to look in this direction. I recommend this. Or what about this? Something to that effect. That's kind of how we're building it out, just so that it actually encourages the critical thinking and learning more so than the gimme, 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 right? Because it's just too often right now. So within InfoSec, we have all these cool things that everybody wants to do. We have everything. But the problem is there's nothing formal. If you want to go from help desk to a social engineer or help desk to a pen tester, you don't have a clear roadmap to get there. If you want to get into malware analysis or reverse engineering, there's no roadmap. The closest thing to a roadmap we have is the SANS certification roadmap. And not everybody can afford $7,000 for a SANS class. The SANS certs I have and the SANS classes I've taken, it's been because my employers saw fit to pay for it. I can't pay for it out of pocket. But anyway, there's no formal thing there for it. So how are we trying to do this? Well, before we talk about getting involved, we have what we call a 5x5 model. 5x5, 5 roles, 5 levels of difficulty. So level 1 is like 1 or 2 systems. Level 2 is 3 to 5. Level 3 is small office, home office. Level 4, homogeneous enterprise. Level 5, heterogeneous enterprise. The 5 roles: hardening, attack, monitor, incident response, and analysis, which basically is threat intelligence. So you will be paired with a mentor or mentee as appropriate for that specific role. The mentee will have a curriculum that we're currently developing, it's not done yet, that they will be pushing you through. They'll be getting you to read blog posts, maybe listen to podcasts, maybe take a training course through Peerlyst or elsewhere. And then additionally, they may have you do this CTF or whatever. I'm trying to partner with EC Council. I'm trying to get them to say, yeah, we'll give you some labs too. Because I have a pretty good relationship with them. So do this now. Work through this. So do that. And then whenever the mentor thinks the mentee's ready, then they go into the range. The range starts with the person doing hardening. They have X amount of time to harden whichever level of systems. Okay, they're hardened. The baton is passed. Someone is set up inside to monitor. Someone is set up inside to attack. The person monitoring tries to detect the attacks. They produce their reports, all the above. Once that phase is over, after a finite amount of time, 1 to 4 weeks, whatever, then the responder will come in and basically do digital forensics and incident response to put things together. The notes from the incident responder and the monitoring team will be passed off to the analysis person to produce threat intelligence. We're not going to be trying to come up with IOCs like what IP address did it come from. We don't care. If you can say, yeah, I found an IP address, that's sufficient. We're not about to start doxing people that's doing the programs, public IPs, as threat intelligence, because it's not. I'm sure some people it may be, but I have anything to say about it? No. But also with that being said, each phase also has to produce a report. Sorry, I know everybody hates the idea of reports, but after you harden the system, you don't necessarily produce a report with that, but you need to, because writing is an integral part of any tech job. It doesn't matter. After you pen test, report. Monitoring, report. It may not be the same type of formal report. It might be a shift report, or something like that. You'll produce some sort of report. Incident response, same thing. Analysis, similar thing. Why is that important? 2 reasons. That's how it works in the real world, for one. And for 2, that allows you to provide a writing sample to a prospective employer. They can see that you can put together a cohesive shift report, a cohesive pen test report. They understand where you are with things. They understand your skill from it. It gives them a lot of insight into where you are, which is very important. Then at the end, after the analysis phase, everybody, mentors and mentees, the range staff and everyone else, we're going to hop on a call and we're going to debrief everything. So the hardener will start. They will talk about whatever they did to harden, then the pen tester will talk, so forth and so on. So the pen tester will have the opportunity to say, hey, how did you set this thing? Because I tried to do this and it didn't work. What spin was that? Or, if you'd have set this setting, I would have been able to do this and this. Or you could have found me if you were looking this way, to the monitoring person. Either way, it allows people to be in the room together, in the room, to be able to talk about things and understand other people's roles so they can get better at their own role. Whether it's being more covert or providing people with tidbits on how to find them or how to do something. There's value in that. So there's the getting involved. So that's the link to the mailing list. That's where we're registering people right now. You need a Peerlyst account, but right now you sign up for the mailing list. It's just a name and an email address and which role you want. You can pick mentor and mentee. You can pick mentor, mentee, and content developer even. So sign up for the mailing list, and then we send periodic emails out to kind of give you an update, as well as we'll post to Peerlyst as well. How much? It's for the right price of $3.99, $3.50, $3,000, free. So with the operations of it, there's the 5x5 model again. It's just showing kind of the layout. So we see how everyone's going to progress through things. So this basically just talks about the tracks. So hardening, you're just making the systems harder. You're trying to do it from the scope of a security engineer, a system architect, security, sysadmin, whatever. You're just trying to use some sort of guide, whether that be from the Department of Defense, the STIGs, or whether that be like the Center for Internet Security baselines. Or you might just make your own. I would recommend it, but you could. It gets you through the experience of going through changing registry keys, configuring files, changing permissions, doing things as appropriate. The attack, you're going to act as a malicious actor or a pen tester. Monitor, that's going to be a SOC analyst watching for things, respond, defear, and then analyze, that's going to be post-mortem for indicators of compromise and threat intelligence. And with that, the threat intelligence piece, you're not so much worried about, okay, this port, this protocol, this IP address, this moves in. You're more worried about how do they do things? What's the pattern of this? What tactics, tools, procedures do they use? What's their TTPs? It's more important than where they're attacking from, because I mean, if I'm attacking you from a cloud instance, you catch me on AWS, I'm just going to move to Azure or DigitalOcean. It doesn't matter. My tactics are going to be the same. It's just going to come from a different source. So, nevertheless, there's that. So, the levels, again, single system, 2 to 4, SOHO, homogeneous enterprise, heterogeneous enterprise. So, the workflow, you get paired with the mentor. The mentor assigns learning experiences. That could be the lab, that could be a CTF, that could be writing a blog, reading a blog, listening to a podcast, whatever. And I'm a huge advocate of you should go off and do blogging. You should do it with Peerlyst, and you should do it elsewhere as well. Get your name as far and wide as possible so that you can actually build your reputation. It was easier for me to get the job with IBM because I go off and I do a boatload of public speaking. I've written blogs for places because they knew what they were getting into from the get-go. Whereas if I hadn't done any of that, I would have had to sell myself a lot harder to get the role. So have that. Some blogs even pay you. Alienable, for example, is pay Amazon gift cards for writing blogs. So usually worth more than real money. But anyway, you go through the technical challenges. Again, that's paired with the learning experience. Then you go through the range. You hot wash it, that's what we were talking about. Then you get a report card. We grade your ability based on what went on. You know, how did you do with communication? How did you do with these core objectives? You'll get a report card. You'll have comments from the team. You'll have comments from your mentor. And it'll be there. You'll get it in PDF format. So you can present it to a potential employer. It says, hey, how much experience do you have with this? Well, you know, I just got my CCNA like 3 months ago. I went off and I did the range, and here's my report card from this. Right there's basically professional references. So it's very worthwhile in that sense. And then upon completion of each level, you get a certificate, which you can also use for that. So it's not meant to take the place of academic learning, nor is it meant to take the place of certification, but to supplement both and help you in the two things that those two don't. Academia helps you check a box to get a job. Certification, okay, you do something at some point in time, you check a box. This right here, yeah, you're also checking the box, but it's actually saying, you know, it's more like the OSCP model of I can actually pen test as opposed to just answer multiple choice questions about it. So keep that in mind. So basically, we're working to partner with specific vendors for not for resale licenses, NFRs, so that we can use enterprise level equipment in the range, so that you will get exposed to things like Palo Alto's, Cisco devices, FireEye devices, QRadar, ArcSight, whatever. Name this in here, so that you can actually become familiar with the devices. So it's just something to consider as well. I mean, that's the first part, right? Everybody wants experience, but they don't necessarily want to invest in it. It's like the people looking for entry-level CISSPs. But you're supposed to have 5 years of experience to get your CISSP. Or we want 8 years of experience with Ethereum. Well, that's cool. Ethereum is only 4 years old. So instead of working on it for 40 hours a week, I should have been working on it 80 hours a week for the last 4 years. Got it. Yeah, thanks. So here's my contact information. Again, there's that.
Question. This can be posted somewhere.
Of course. There's Brian's contact information. we all love having a lot of contact information. Social media. So Peerlyst, Facebook, Twitter, more or less. And future speaking engagements. I won't even get into that since I've basically beat that horse good today. Any questions? So I know this was a very short presentation. Actually, it wasn't as short as I thought. 5 minutes. We're good on the time. Nothing wrong with a little break. Any questions? No? Thanks.
So that was the mentorship program. Now the program is there. Now we need mentors and mentees. So if you're out there, if you want to be a mentor or mentee, if you want to contribute, Joe is also looking for contributors in helping to build this and to finish the building of this.
Absolutely.
So mentors, mentees, contributors, please do volunteer.
Especially mentors. We've got about 140 people on the list.